Hello ladies and gentlemen, it is Tom and welcome to Untitled Crossover Boxing Channel. Yeah, I've not actually came up with a name for this yet, so the name is on screen right here. Woo! Don't mind the hat, I'm just fresh out the shower, so I just thought I'd wear this bucket hat. But we are going to be counting down today 5 matches that I would like to see at the upcoming Misfits 008 event in Nashville, Tennessee. The card should hopefully be getting announced soon, so I thought I'd come in today with a top 5 list of 5 realistic or kind of realistic fights that I'd personally love to see at Misfits 008. So let's get into it, shall we? Coming in at number 5 is a match that was meant to happen at Misfits 006 in New Orleans. Was that where it was? It was New Orleans, right? And that was a fight that was meant to take place between Minx and Fangs. This fight was meant to happen, like I said, but Minx had to pull out due to visa issues. In stepped Alina Vampira, who absolutely took it to Fangs. We saw Alina Vampira, she looked very impressive, but I still want to see the original fight that was meant to take place, Fangs and Minx, and I think this would be a pretty good equal fight. Both have one fight under their belt in terms of experience. Minx has obviously not fought since Creator Clash last year when she defeated Yodeling Haley, making her 1-0. Fangs, of course, is 0-1, and I think this would be a good fight. Misfits Boxing getting Minx was a really good signing. Obviously, she was a part of the first ever crossover boxing female fight, and I've been dying to see her fight since Creator Clash, and I think her v Fangs would be a good fight for the two of them. And coming in at number 4 is actually a rematch from Misfits 006, and that is a rematch between Jake the Viking and Minicon. These two lads obviously fought to a draw, and we've seen that in crossover boxing, when you fight to a draw, you always have a rematch, unless you're KSI and Joe Fournier, but to be fair, we don't need that match, do we? However, I really like to see this match. I love a good heavyweight clash, and these two had a really awesome match at Misfits 006, going to the draw after all 4 rounds or 3 rounds, however many rounds it was. It was 3 or 4 rounds of absolute mayhem, and I need it again. Coming in at number 3 is a fight that I would like to see featuring a first-time competitor on Misfits Boxing. I would like to see Myth on Misfits Boxing. Obviously, he fought on Creator Clash and Chess Boxing recently. He is 2-0, and particularly in Creator Clash, he looked very, very impressive as he defeated Hundar by first round KO. And I would love to see him in the ring up against BDave. I think these guys are probably around the same height and weight. And I think this would be a good fight. We've not seen BDave have a singles fight in Misfits Boxing since he debuted against Pineda, and obviously the odds were very stacked against him there, so it's only fair that he can get a fight that is maybe a little more equal for him, a good competitive fight here with Myth. It'll be a proving grounds match for both guys. Myth, with it being his first match, he want to prove himself in a big way in Misfits Boxing, and BDave looking to get that first singles win in Misfits Boxing and prove that he is more than just a tag team guy. Wants to prove that he is not the Marty Jannetty of Los Pinedas Coladas. Coming in at number 2 is a match featuring a returning fighter, a man who has not fought since he was knocked out in round 1 by KSI. Of course, I'm talking about FaZe Temper. When you do these American cards, you need to get the Americans in there, and getting FaZe Temper in there is surely a no-brainer decision. And who do I think he should face, or who would I like to see him face? Well, me personally, I'd love to see him face Nick Lamar. I'm not sure this fight would happen. I'm not sure how realistic this is. Obviously, it's a big challenge for Nick Lamar. He's only had one fight, and it was against Jay Swingler, so he already had a bit of a challenge there. But I think Nick Lamar really surprised people in that Jay Swingler fight, myself included. He went all 4 rounds with him, which I myself wasn't even expecting, and he put on a really good fight, and some argue that he even won that fight. So I think he could do better than a lot of people might think in a fight against FaZe Temper. And if not FaZe Temper, then gimme Virus, but he might not fight because he's just fought on this most recent Misfits event. Quick honorable mentions before we get onto my number 1, just naming some fighters I would like to see on the card. I haven't really got any opponents in mind for them, but some opponents I would like to see on this card, if possible, is a Logan Paul headliner. Obviously, the next fight I'm about to discuss, my number 1, would be the main event in my eyes if it was to happen. But if that fight isn't to happen, then a Logan Paul headliner would be very ideal, given it is in America. But whether we will see that, who really knows? I don't know when Logan Paul's return time frame is for crossover boxing, how busy he is with WWE, so whether that can happen or not logistics wise, I don't really know. I love to see Hassim Rahman Jr. fight again. I love this fight against Greg Hardy on one of the first Misfits America cards, I think the first Misfits America card. That fight was so awesome. And on the same topic, I love to see Greg Hardy in Misfits again. Greg Hardy just always be doing shit, doesn't he? Like, I swear every week a new clip just pops up of him getting slept on, like, some random promotion. Like, I swear he was doing Team Combat just recently, like, knocking fools out. Like, you gotta respect the hustle and grind that Greg Hardy is constantly on in the crossover boxing world. But my number one on this list is, of course, Dean the Great versus Walid Sharks 2. It just has to be the fight that main evented the first ever American Misfits event in Austin, Texas. And those two lads put on a war. When we thought Walid Sharks had won it, Dean the Great landed that nasty right hand and got the win. We just need this fight. It's been such a long build. All the scuffles at the press conferences, all the Twitter spaces. Dean has obviously beaten Pulley Arif, and Walid has obviously beaten A-Pap. These guys have already got through opponents. Now they need to meet each other again, and it needs to happen as soon as possible. Please give me this fight on Misfits 008 in Nashville, Tennessee. I am begging. Anyway, let me know in the comments down below what fights you want to see on Misfits 008 in Nashville, Tennessee. Anyway, I've been Tom from the Untitled Crossover Boxing channel, and I'll see you guys for a future video.